Hey, everybody, what's going on? This is your man, Big B, Brian Hanley, and welcome to Steelers Almighty Scouting Report, where the Pittsburgh Steelers were traveling to Las Vegas to take on the Las Vegas Raiders this Sunday. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Look, as we break down these games, sometimes it gets difficult to find some of the ins and outs of some of these matchups, but I'll just be quite honest with you. The Steelers are better than the Raiders. They're better basically at every single position than the Raiders. The Raiders are in turmoil. Their best player doesn't want to be there, isn't going to be playing in this game. The Pittsburgh Steelers need to go win it. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You need to get back on track and go win this football game. We're going to break all that down for you today, tell you where the Steelers have the advantage in some of these matchups and all the things that go within this football game. So before we do, again, as a reminder, remember to follow, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Remember, super chats are always wide open if you want to try to control the conversation or if you just want to help support the channel. You know how to do that. We appreciate everything. Look, man, it's a race to 4,000 subscribers. We just started April 4th of this year. It's all because of you. All because of you and the support that you have given us. We appreciate it. Thank you guys very much. Let's get into this. So, first things first, a little bit of the overview. Obviously, we're playing the Las Vegas Raiders. The game's in Vegas, which is in a dome, which is good. Steelers favored by 3. Vegas knows a little bit something about what they're doing. 3 seems crazy, but is it really out of line? I don't know. Steelers -3, which is technically -6 because a home team always gets 3 points. So, what can the Steelers do with that? I don't know, but I don't. We've seen it before. The last 2 weeks, we've seen it. Hopefully, we get a better performance. Breaking down some of the things here as far as offensive players. Look, they made a quarterback change. The Raiders did. They're going with Aiden O'Connell, benching Gardner Minshew, costly interceptions last week, putting the ball in harm's way. Just can't do that, especially inside the red zone. Through an interception that basically it was a 14-point swing. Instead of them scoring a touchdown, he throws a pick six from the end zone. Um, yeah, that'll get you to lose your job in a hurry. And it did. Raiders were never able to recover. So they're going with Aiden O'Connell. Look, if Gardner Minshew beat you out for the starting head coaching or starting quarterback job, I'm not sure how good you are. But maybe that was just a coaching error. Maybe he should have won the job all along. We'll find out. But I think they're basically the same guy. If you're asking me what's the difference, I don't think there's a lot of difference. I think they're going to run their offense the way they run their offense. Maybe he's a little bit better decision maker, doesn't take as many chances. We'll find out. Pittsburgh should get after him and make him make some quick decisions. But look, Brock Bowers is very good. Rookie tight end. He's a pro's pro already. You hear that from a lot of the Raiders players that are inside that locker room. They talk about how much he loves football. He studies football. He's all about football. You watch him on the field. He is a very, very good tight end. Jameer White, running back. The Raiders don't do a whole lot of running, but they try. They're just not that successful at it. Jacoby Myers, again, wide receiver. They try to move the ball, and they can move it from time to time. They're not terrible. That's the thing. They're not terrible. And if you give them opportunities, they'll move the ball against you. Yeah, everybody's professional, man. So everybody gets paid. So it's not like they're a bunch of bums out there running. The should just be better. Look, on the defensive side of the ball, Max Crosby, he came back, missed a game with a high ankle sprain that had limited him, comes back, gets 2 sacks. I mean, it's Max Crosby. I mean, he's that guy. He is. Look, Christian Wilkins was playing well, living up to the huge contract that he signed in the offseason, but he's hurt. He got hurt. He's going to be out. He's got a foot injury. But a guy that the Steelers are familiar with, Robert Spillane. A lot of people call him Bob. Playing well at linebacker. He played well for linebacker last year, playing even better this year. And I know the first thing that people are going to say, man, I wish he was still on our team. I get it, but if we're being honest, he wasn't very good when he was with the Steelers. I know what you're going to say. I get it, but he wasn't that good when he was with the Steelers, which is why they moved on. But it doesn't matter. good for him. He's playing well with the Raiders right now. As far as free agents, I mean, they signed Wilkins. He was a huge free agent. They signed a couple of guys, but I guess Minshew was another guy that they signed. But neither of those guys are going to be playing. At least Minshew's not going to start the game. So that's one thing that I don't think it's going to be a big factor as any free agents. I would say the main factor is the guys that they drafted. Like I mentioned, Bowers, Jackson Powers Johnson, a guy that the Steelers thought about drafting as far as a center. He's not playing center for the Raiders. He's playing guard. Um, Took Cody Whitehair's job, starting now. We'll see if that continues. He's been playing well since he's gotten to the starting lineup. He's played well, but I'll still take Zach Frazier. I said it at draft time. I want Zach Frazier ahead of him. And Zach Frazier has done nothing to prove me or any of you else out there that said the exact same thing that I did. We would want Zach Frazier over him, and we got him, and he's playing just fine. So I mentioned the injuries. Look, it does Russell Wilson, does this mean he's going to be the backup this week? Is he going to be the number 2 versus the emergency quarterback that we've seen? Is there an outside chance that maybe they're being coy that Russell Wilson starts the game? I don't think so. I still think this is Justin Fields' job, but we'll see. But the main thing is, does Wilson move up into the backup role this week? I think that's a big key. Steelers are still just destroyed by injuries. Just everybody's hurt. We can't keep an outside linebacker opposite of TJ Watt healthy. It's going to be trial by error out there. They're talking about even playing Loudermilk at outside linebacker. It just, it's troublesome because when you don't get that pass rush from the other side, they'll triple team TJ. They'll literally do that. And if we can't get anything from the other side, it's going to be a problem. So we'll see what happens. I've already mentioned the injuries that the Raiders have, the big ones. The main one, Christian Wilkins out, Devontae Adams. You could say it's a hamstring, or we can just say he doesn't want to play for the Raiders anymore. Either way, I'm fine with it. He's not going to be out there. Now, let's dive into some of these matchups, man. And I mentioned at the top of the show, it was tough trying to figure out, some matchups because, look, the Raiders just aren't great at a whole lot of things right now. You could say the same thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Still they're not great at a whole lot of things right now. So when I do the strength versus strength, I'm thinking, well, what are their strengths? Well, the Steelers defense, versus the Raiders offense. I guess pass offense, if you want to say that, because their pass offense is 15th. I guess if that's a strength versus strength. Again, it was difficult finding some stuff, but like I mentioned, everybody's professional. If you don't come and do your job, somebody who gets paid on the other team is going to beat you. So the Steelers can't go into this game thinking we're just going to walk right over the Raiders and stop everything that they're doing. They haven't been able to do that this year against teams that we think they should be able to. So we'll see. As far as the Steelers' strength versus a weakness, look, the Steelers' rush defense is still 5th in the league. I know last week didn't tell us anything. Basically, the last 2 weeks didn't tell us that, but they're still 5th in the league, and the Raiders are 30th. And before you say it, I know the Cowboys were dead last and couldn't run the ball an inch before they played the Pittsburgh Steelers. I 100% understand it. And then they did whatever they needed to do against the Steelers running the football. This has got to be a little bit different. I would hope that this is a little bit different just because they don't have a quarterback on the other side that can get in and out of good and bad plays like Dak Prescott could do with the Cowboys and throwing all over the football field. I would hope that the Steelers are better prepared to shut down the run in this football game. As far as weakness versus strength, the Steelers' weakness is pass protection, and they have Max Crosby. Period. End of story. And Max Crosby just doesn't line up. I know people are going, oh, man, he's going against Broderick Jones. He lines up everywhere. He's going to be a handful no matter where he lines up and where he comes when he rushes the passer. So the Steelers are going to have to be ready. Max Crosby has a high motor. He doesn't stop. He's also got excellent pass rush moves, very aggressive. They're going to have to bring it. They're just going to have to bring it because this guy is very good, very good. Top 5 pass rusher in the league. Top 5 pass rusher in the league. That's what we're dealing with here, people. That is what we are dealing with. Now, let's talk about what the tail of the tape per se as far as the outcome. The game obviously is in Vegas. The coaching. Mike Tomlin is a better coach than Antonio Pierce. I know. Everybody, we're done with Mike Tomlin and the same nonsense. I get it. But Mike Tomlin, I believe, could outcoach Antonio Pierce sleeping. I don't think Antonio Pierce is a very good head coach. I think he totally mismanaged this Devontae Adams situation. Um, but maybe some of that's not his fault. I get it. But I haven't seen him do anything that says that he's even a good head coach at this point. Mike Tomlin, you can say that. Even though I know we're tired of it, but Mike Tomlin is a better coach. Raiders lead the overall series 17-16. They have played each other the last 3 years, with the Steelers winning the last 2, including last year in Vegas. So hopefully they can make it 3 in a row. Now, I mentioned this earlier. As far as the rosters, the Steelers have a better roster. I mean, you could even match it up position for position. Yeah, their best player, Devontae Adams, is better than any receiver that the Steelers have. I get it, but he's not playing. Okay. Then you say the next best player is Max Crosby. Outstanding player, great player. TJ Watt is better than him. Then you could even say Christian Wilkins, who's not playing, the next best player. Maybe he's as good as Cam Hayward. You could even say that he's a little better than Cam Hayward at Cam's 35 years of age. Okay, fine. But he's not playing. The Steelers have a better roster. Period. End of story. Their roster is just better than the Raiders. Does that mean that they're going to play that way? It doesn't necessarily mean that. But you can't tell me the Steelers don't have a better roster. You're lying if you try to say that. The matchups all favor Pittsburgh, except when the Raiders are rushing the passer and having to try to block Max Crosby. Everywhere else, the Steelers have an advantage. Everywhere else, they have an advantage. And damn it, I'm going to say it. The Steelers got to win the football game. If they don't win this football game, it is officially time to panic. There is no, well, it's just one game and they can do that. No, no, no. The Steelers are better than the Raiders. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. They have a better roster, better coaching, if they actually coach up to potential and whatever that means. They are a better football team than the Raiders. There's going to be 35% of the fans in that stadium are going to be Steeler fans. I mean, what else? What this is your opportunity. Now, I know that the Steelers are not built to just go blow out a football team. They're not built that way. But the outcome needs to be the Steelers win. I say 24-16 just for the simple fact that they're not built to blow anybody out. But don't tell me that the Steelers aren't better. They're better. And they got to show that they're better. Look, this you could even say is a get right game, that they've got to get right on what they do, get back to what they're trying to do, and figure some stuff out. I will say this. I think this is a huge game for Justin Fields, because if Justin Fields comes out and he plays average, not bad, but if he just plays average, he's not starting next week. I can rest assured. Mike Tomlin has basically told you that Russell Wilson is the starter as soon as he's healthy. He needs a reason not to make him the starter. And if you come out and you play average, even in a win, Russell Wilson will be starting next week. So I think Justin Fields has to come out, and I know this is a lot of pressure. He got to come out and play the best game he's played. He does. Now, does that mean he's got to throw for 400 yards? No. But he needs to be efficient. He needs to get the ball out of his hand. He needs to make the right reads, be decisive, be accurate. It's not all on Justin Fields, though, before you say it. He's got to have help. It starts with being able to run the football. It starts with pass protection. It starts with having wide receivers and tight ends get some separation and actually get open so he doesn't have to second guess when he's going to throw the ball. All of those things have to happen to help him. Now, and we can see it. We do an all 22 breakdown. We can always see what's going on. So, but I believe that Justin Fields has to have a great game in order to have his job secured, at least for the next week. Because Mike Tomlin is basically coming, he's not even telling you anything. And when he's not doing that, you know that's basically his speak of, yeah, if Justin doesn't play great, Russell's the guy. Because he's not said anything other than Russell is the guy. He's always said that. He's just said Russell's not healthy. Well, since Russell's not healthy, there's no decision to be made. Well, now that Russ is healthy, there's a decision to be made. And if you're not playing well, it's an easy decision. That's all I'm saying. So I'm rooting for Justin Fields. I hope he plays well. Regardless of who you want to be the quarterback, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to win. I don't care if it's Fields. I don't care if it's Russell Wilson. I don't care if it's a field mouse that's in Acrisure Stadium every week. I don't care. I just want to win football games. Period. End of story. Because I know there's a lot of chatter that, oh, I prefer one or the other. I don't. I don't. I don't care. I just want to win games. And I want you to play well. I want to play well. So this is an opportunity for the Steelers this week, people. A big opportunity for us to try to take advantage of what is going on. The Raiders aren't good. The Raiders are imploding. They got guys that don't want to be there. So let's take advantage of that, man. We need George Pickens to pick it up. We need Broderick Jones to pick it up. We need to get, again, this is a get right game. Go get right. Go get right. We're better than what we were last week. We're better than what we were the week before. We are better than that. At least I hope so. At least I hope so. Look, it's Halloween. I got my Freddie, my Mike Myers, and my Jason Voorhees Steelers shirt on. Okay? We're playing the Raiders. It's time to get this thing going, people. It's just time to get this thing going. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I appreciate y'all listening. Thank you guys again for all the support that you've given us. Remember to continue to like, follow, subscribe, leave those comments, and hit the notification bell so you know exactly when Steelers Almighty content is coming out. We appreciate you guys. Aloha.